Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I got mine. I need mine today. I need a little pick me up. Before I get started talking about what I want to talk about, there are people that I need to say thank you to. And I need to start off by saying thank you so much to Tanya. Tanya, thank you so much. I appreciate you. That's going to come in real handy because we are low on both side items and fruit in the library pantry. So thank you so much, baby. You were right on time. And then I have to say thank you to Rolando. Rolando, thank you. I appreciate you. Same deal. And to Miss Barbara. Barbara, thank you. I got your note. I love your content too, sis. As a matter of fact, if you all are on TikTok, follow Barbara. She's a good sister. If you follow me on TikTok, more than likely you probably follow her content too. Her handle over on TikTok, I don't know what it is over here on the YouTube, but on TikTok, she goes by @barbara.j.w52. And that's the letter J, not the word J. Once again, that's @barbara.j.w52. She's a good sister to follow. And more than likely, if you follow people like me and Tabitha Speaks Politics, who, by the way, has a birthday tomorrow. If you're watching this, sis, happy early birthday. I'll say it again tomorrow. Hopefully I won't forget tomorrow, but if I do, happy birthday. The only reason why I know it is your birthday is because your birthday falls on my wedding anniversary. And tomorrow is my wedding anniversary. Only today, we're not going to have any boots on the ground today. We're not going to go to the central pantry and help out because my husband works tomorrow. So we have to do all of our anniversary today. And we're going to start it off by going to lunch. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm in a celebratory mood because I've been married for a long time. And tomorrow is our day. Now, with that being said, you know what I want to talk about today? Have y'all seen that viral video on TikTok about the woman and the coffee date? I got to talk about it. I need to talk about it. I am bursting because I am a little bit triggered. And let me tell you why. This woman did this video and she said that a guy wanted to take her out on a coffee date. And so she took her and that wasn't acceptable to her. And she took her own self out to, I think it was Panera. And she got herself exactly what she wanted. She got herself coffee, lunch, and all the things that she wanted because she can do that, you see. And let me tell you what else she can do. She can say no to coffee. And the way people got down in her comments, now men are going to men. Men are going to men. Men be men. And mind you, because this sister was not the beauty standard. She was not a thin, woman. She was a big girl. And me being a big girl myself, let me tell you, I'm going to project a little bit here. When I tell you how many people in my life, men in particular, and I hate to say it, but it is just the truth, black men especially, who felt like I wasn't entitled to my nose because I was a big girl. And that I should take whatever raggedy, scraggly, not trying, low bar setting man. And I didn't have the right to have standards because I was not the beauty standards. I am triggered. I am triggered. Women, and a lot of people said, I watched some of the response videos, and women were shocked at how many women were in her comments, either being male-centered pick-me's or basically just projecting. And projecting, they were saying things like, oh, I went on a coffee date with my husband and it's 21 years later. Those were your standards. She's entitled to have her own standards. And this woman is entitled to say no. Listen, I thought that women were finally starting to wake up as a collective and realize and start to understand, because I've been telling you all, and I'm someone who considers myself to be happily married. I'm in a good relationship with my husband, and I am telling you all that marriage is tough, marriage is hard, marriage drains you. So does motherhood. And think very, very carefully before You sign up for legalized slavery just because he was willing to give you a pretty ring and say, I do. I've said it to you in a million different ways on this platform, and you all know that I have had these conversations with you all. Women, when I tell you the way my heart is filled with joy when I see a single black woman with no children, I will never be that auntie that will tell you, oh, get married. Oh, enter into this trap that men set for you. Oh, no, be some man's slave. I'll never be that kind of auntie. No, baby. I will never. I'm always going to be the live your life auntie. Go live your life. Catch flights, not diseases. Okay? Not headaches. Okay? Spend time loving on yourself so that you understand what real self-love actually is. So that when you find a man that is worthy, when you find a man that is not challenging to your peace and your aura and your womanhood, you know what you need from him. And you won't be out here taking the bullshit that other women. It's women out here, baby, let me tell you, they husbands that made babies outside of their marriage and they still with them. Husbands beating on them, slapping them up, and they still with them. Husbands won't work, won't keep a job, and they working 2 jobs. Husband come home from his job and then and she come home from her job and they want 50-50 in everything except for the household duties. She paying half the bills, he paying half the bills, but she doing all of the housework and all of the shower rearing. Did y'all see that viral video of those 2 twins? They were identical twins, and one literally looked like she was 15 to 20 years older than her twin. She was the twin that was married with children. Her husband, marriage and children, got her out here looking older than her years. A woman, any woman, regardless of her size, regardless of what she looks like, has the right to set standards for herself. And as women, we need to be supportive of that. We need to be supportive of that. I really wish that women had told the real deal of it back when I was young about what marriage and what children actually really was. The only reason why I am in the marriage that I'm in is because my husband is a man who is willing to listen to me. When I say, look, this is a problem for me. Because my husband, he knows I will leave. I don't have a problem thugging it out. I don't have a problem thugging it out. And he knows that. I was thugging it out when we met. I was living my life. I was having an awesome time. I love being single. Play with me if you want to. I'll go right back to that. Single was great for me. And again, I've said it a million times for those of you all who don't want to be single, you're not doing single right. You're not doing it right. This young lady is, which is why she was able to tell some bum no and keep it moving. She can take herself out to coffee. Remember when I did that video just a couple of days ago and I said, my husband and I, we don't go out to dinner too often because dinner is so expensive and I'm a phenomenal cook. Baby, I can cook. Okay, I can cook. And because I'm a frugal person, I look at money very carefully. I spend money very carefully. And I'm not about to spend $100 or $200 on a meal and to the likes of which I could have turned out better in my kitchen. I'm not okay with spending that kind of money on mediocre meal and mediocre service. It's another reason why we're going to lunch today. Dinner is expensive. And I get that. And I understand that. And so men, they have to maximize, it's coffee dates. And I understand that money is funny. And some women, that's going to be okay with some women. But for some women, it's not going to be okay. Because if what you're saying to a woman, for some women are going to see it like this. And they are entitled to see it like this. For some women, they're going to see you as a man that can't provide. Now, it used to be a time when back in my day where, you might not want to commit to something like a meal, sitting across from somebody and having a meal. I understand that too. I understand the reasoning. But these people, they were talking for a little bit. He knew what she looked like. She knew what he looked like. He knew what she liked. He knew she didn't like coffee dates. And when he wanted to meet up, he wanted to do something that she didn't want to do. And she already communicated that that wasn't her deal. If she wants to sit down after investing all of this time into talking to you, getting to know you, asking you the right questions, making sure you're someone that she wants to step out with, she's entitled to say no to a coffee date. And I want to say, I can't believe how many women were in her comments, saying things. And obviously the first thing that they were going to attack was they were going to attack her looks. They attacked her weight. There were men in the comments saying things like, how many more no's you think you got in you? That kind of thing. And I loved her answer to that. As many as my heart's desire. Amen. Amen. A woman has the right to say no. And attacking her and saying that she doesn't have the right to say no. I can't tell you how many men that I have dated or who have wanted to date me and I have said no to. And they felt like I wasn't entitled to my no, that I should accept the bottom of the barrel because I was a big girl. There's a man in my past who did 8 years in prison because he couldn't handle my no. Why are we telling women that their no's are not okay in 2025? Why are we telling women that they don't have the right to say no? That they don't have the right to autonomy? How do you think they got away with taking all of our rights away from us? Our bodily autonomy away from us? The right to divorce away from us? When y'all systematically out here telling women that they don't have the right to say no because they're big, or because they are not the beauty standard, or because of this reason, or because of that reason. So you mean to tell me only perfect 10s can say no? Only a 10 can say no? Any woman has the right to say no to anything that a man is offering her that she doesn't feel is up to her standards. She got the right to tell that man no. And it's so weird that so many women told her that she didn't and tried to argue with her down in the comments saying that she didn't. If they wasn't arguing with her, these male-centered pick-mishas were not arguing with her down in the comments about that. Then you had the ones that were projected on her. Well, my husband did. I paid for our first date, or I did. If that's okay for you, that's fine. If those were your standards. But sis got different standards for herself. And all women should. Considering we trying to wake y'all up to what marriage and children really is. And to date around and make sure that you picking the right guy. Men are out here on the one hand saying, y'all need to pick better. And then women are saying, bet. Let me fall back, get to know you guys, see what y'all really about. And then when they see that y'all really not about nothing and they say no, it's a problem. How is it a problem? Maybe she feel like, hey, if all you can come at me with is and then the fact that y'all just want to invest coffee. I can remember being a young woman at the bar in the club when I was young, and men thinking that a drink entitled them to my access to my body. I remember that. And then wising up and getting to a point where I had to say no to drinks. I'll buy my own drinks, thank you. Because I'm not fixing to sell myself for a $5 drink. I'm not fixing to sell myself for some coffee. I'm not fixing to give you access to my body and my mind and my spirit and my soul for a cup of coffee. People be out here doing the bare minimum, expecting putting forth minimum output, expecting maximum back, maximum reward back. That's not the way life is lifing anymore. And yay for women getting smarter and stepping back and getting to know these men and understanding what their own individual needs are. If a coffee date is okay for you, sis, go have coffee. But if it's not okay for the next woman, you give her that. You don't tell the next woman, you don't tell a woman to lower her standards because you lowered yours. It don't work like that. And then to attack her on her looks and basically tell her, because you're not that pretty, we don't think you're that pretty, you don't have the right to say no to coffee dates. Shame on y'all for communicating that type of messaging to another woman. Shame on you women for that. Y'all are disgusting. Y'all are as disgusting as these men are. And male-centered women, y'all are violent and dangerous. Y'all are. Y'all are so dangerous to the rest of these women out there, to the rest of these young women out there, especially you older ones who are my age, telling younger black women in their 20s and 30s and even in their 40s to settle. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Don't you dare settle. If you start settling this early, what do you think 20 years later gonna look like? If you settling for coffee today, what do you think tomorrow gonna look like? She had the right to say no. And if a coffee date worked out for you, then good. I am happy for you. I am thrilled for you. If it worked out for you. But I suspect that it really didn't. And that's why y'all in the comments projected, trying to convince another woman to accept the bare minimum. That's all I wanted to say about it. Anyway, stop telling women that they don't have the right to say no. We have the right to say no to sex. We have the right to say no to coffee. We have right to say no to kiss. We have right to say no to giving you our phone number. We have the right to say no to getting to know you. We have the right to say no. We have the right to set standards for ourselves. And especially in the black community, where we are literally raised up to think that, even from our families, that if we set a boundary, that if we say no, we're disrespectful. We got to get away from that. We got to unteach and unlearn all that shit. Boundaries, healthy boundaries are good. Standards are good. A woman's right to say no is good. It's all a good thing. Y'all have a good day. Have a righteous day. Don't be nobody's problem today. And if you can make somebody's life easier today, take that opportunity. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Tell me what you think in the comments.